It's finger looking good. They're magically delicious. Taste the rainbow. You've probably heard of these slogans dozens of times, maybe even today. They're catchy, they're fun, and they're part of our culture. But they also represent something far more serious. The foods behind these slogans are contributing to a full blown health crisis in America. I'm talking about KFC, Lucky Charms, and Skittles. Foods packed with salt, sugar, and chemicals. And they're just a few examples of what's fueling the rising rates of obesity in this country. According to a data brief published by the CDC in 2024, more than 40% of American adults are obese. That's nearly half of the adult population, with these numbers trending upward. Obese related conditions like heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes are among the leading causes of preventable death in the United States, as reported by the World Health Organization in 2023. Now, this isn't just statistics for me. I've seen the impacts of obesity firsthand in my family. People I care about suffering from joint pain, exhaustion, and even depression. I've seen how difficult it can be to escape the cycle when the entire food system is working against you. But here's the good news. This crisis is fixable. And today I'll walk you through how. The obesity epidemic in America is caused by three core problems: flawed government agricultural policy, the marketing and widespread availability of ultra processed food, and a lack of nutritional education, especially for children. In this speech, I'll show you how these problems are connected, and more importantly, what solutions are already within reach if we make the right changes. Let's start with the scale of the problem. According to the CDC's National Center for Health Statistics report released in February of 2024, over 40% of US adults meet the clinical criteria for obesity. And it's not just adults. According to a 2023 National Health and Nutritional Examination survey, almost 1 in 5 American children is now considered obese. But here's the key point. This crisis doesn't affect everyone equally. As stated in a 2023 policy summary from the Office of Disease Prevention and Health Promotion, communities with lower incomes are limited access to healthy foods suffer from higher rates of obesity. In many neighborhoods, especially in urban and rural areas, it's easier to find a drive-through than a grocery store. These areas are known as food deserts, and they disproportionately affect marginalized communities. A study published in the American Journal of Preventive Medicine in 2012 points out that aggressive marketing of fast food in these neighborhoods only makes things worse. So when we talk about obesity, we're not just talking about individual choices. We're talking about systematic inequality and access. A big part of the problem comes from how the US government subsidizes agriculture. According to a detailed article from the USA Facts published in October of 2023, the federal government spends billions every year subsidizing corn and soy. These crops are not inherently unhealthy, but they're used to make high fructose corn syrup, hydrogenated oils, and other ingredients found in junk food. Meanwhile, fruits and vegetables barely get a fraction of this funding, as pointed out in a policy piece from Farm Action published in August of 2022, titled Putting Our Money Where Our Mouth Should Be. So when the USDA recommends we fill half of our plates with fruits and vegetables, our food system heavily favors the crops that'll fill our snack aisles instead. And then comes big food, an industry that knows exactly how to exploit this setup. According to a February 2024 interview published by the National Institute of Health, Dr. Ashley Gearhart, a clinical psychologist from the University of Michigan, explains that ultra-processed foods are designed to be addictive. They're engineered to hijack our brain's reward system, triggering intense cravings and making moderation nearly impossible. The worst part? These companies target children on purpose. The American Psychological Association, in a comprehensive review published in 2023, reported that children see over 10,000 food ads every year, and the majority of these are fast food, sugary cereals, soda, and candy. The APA also notes that advertising during Saturday morning cartoons and the use of colorful mascots create brand loyalty at a young age, long before kids are capable of making healthy decisions. This isn't just marketing. It's grooming children into lifelong junk food consumers. So what can we do? Step 1, we need to reform agricultural subsidies. Let's redirect our tax dollars to support the production of healthy, diversified crops like whole grains, fruits, and vegetables. If subsidies help make fresh food more affordable, we could close the gap for low income communities and reduce the cost burden for everyone. Step two, we need to enforce stronger regulation of food marketing. If we once banned cigarette ads aimed at kids, why can't we do the same with sugar and junk food? We need stricter advertising guidelines, clear food labeling, and limits on how companies can market to children. Countries like Chile and the UK have already adopted similar regulations, and they've seen positive results. And step three, we need to launch nutrition education early and make it stick. The CDC published a study in late 2022 showing that schools with comprehensive nutrition programs, including hands on cooking lessons and label reading, saw measurable improvement in student health and food choices. Imagine if we taught kids how to cook one simple meal by the time they're 10, how to understand added sugars and sodium on a label, and how food affects your energy, sleep, and mental health. We treat reading and math like essential subjects. But what you put into your body 3 times a day for your entire life, that's somehow optional? America's obesity epidemic is not about poor willpower. It's about a system that rewards the wrong crops, encourages predatory marketing, and fails to educate the next generation. But this system can change. If we reform our agricultural policy, regulate harmful food advertising, and commit to a long-term nutritional education, we can reverse the trajectory of this epidemic. So the next time you hear a slogan like, "I'm loving it," or "Have it your way," I hope you think a little bit deeper about what's actually being sold. Because it's not just you as a consumer, because you're not just a consumer. You're a voter, a future parent, and community member. And you have a voice in demanding a food system that supports health, not profits. Let's use that voice. Thank you.